abo esese na wie yi ye bopitimo ede emamo na obati anka wapoye mantamu a eno eye ago 96.9 FM nkoko ena yati fributu na wie yi wamasom ebopitimo ede emayen sanso ene eduru atoye mantam so a ehodom so eye radio 360 eye 90.1 wamaso emu a wombopitimo edemayen ewatoye mantam yeduru asante mantam so yabusua eye 96.5 FM ye wodom ewa santimama wiamu nyina je kruma na wiai wa mu tie kase boyi ebe ye live for Facebook nso Kasapa 102.5 FM ba wamade like page no sha na onuaso asem no bi hu na wontie enka ho ensem bebre energy sachrame na ewo ye man Ghana mu na niedi matrantwie bi aye betie no ene se emrase badwafie dom kuma wada woma no eye wonmonyamfo Alexander Fanyoma Kida tudwa etrese MPP abanyanga NDC abanyanga na mampani JDM da no wayi Ghana fosu liapa woso de asoafo aduosia ena ebu oman se na be ya ka bebrebe na so betie na nso no wotrese wo presidency no nipa egu on ma yetu omoka no eche ministers
na menu aka se no edom kuma a wonu mra hye fie enura na enye fede agro wo mu chemu se na ban mu ba yeyi minister baba kwaduosia na asanya mudu monsa burusu kanu na mu wisika nyafanyafo no womjem sa womtwe ho wonu ntia se eyade asofo a wona hwe sika samso man kan mu Dr. Kesa to force edi ya no edi amadon kuma no
wona se badwafie no first deputy minority whip ewo no nyamfo Habibi Drisu na ka se wo se HIV yade no enka yenya no se eye compulsory emfa ema adwumayefo nyina adwumayefo ye ankrankra na afenso abanyumayefo nyina ye afu atwuma mu a yen test na ye hu se wo yade mu awane bi anase woni beba bo ye pa na sane se ho obeti bi
na ye be ko etifido mantem mu me no aka se na anu ade ena gbokunto ko hyewi ene wopem so ehwe ma bibi atumi konkan nanso ade se omo na lerugu wo mto se da bi wo mtwe wo mti ase ahenie no eye wonu de me no aka se no aban ye de asrafo akwakoka ho ewo ho me no aka se o de curfew enso ato so
na tomufo womo ewo waja ewo ntiem ye Ghana Water Company Limited for their tuju echese yade ne de ya no yade a womo eba be shato omo plant ne ba akodan a ebe nam so amansuo ho akwatwe omanfo a womo ewo waja ne nkrado nyina ne ewu ni nsu a na wapensuo si wo ene yebedi mu nkomo
na wo amanyasemo me no aka se eno de na Dr. Brian the Champion abetifi Elon Musk ekokodi nkomo ene wo chem so aboto a ye kokoto no mfimpenu ene di onu nan no na ehu hia se ye de sobo no ede bebo Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia se wo no ene nam so ma odi ntwo ede ma MPP amanyoko no na de yi olwanyamfo owura eye nana akomia ede ya no abre Dr. Brian Champo was obua untumi nyi Bawumia mfim da Bawumia ene ma ntwo no ebae
awia yin samfro beka ho ene ye de beda mo sa wia kan kase bo osuani katache frifa ena
odifu ya chas
afa ensam no nie ye giramo wo man Ghana mra se badwafie na dom kuma wo man Ghana mra se badwafie ya MPP aban no pani e woda wo ma no ye wononyamfo Alexander Fanyoma Ken wakasa da tuju akire se NDC aban yi Ghana fo sulia pa na Ghana man pani JDM bra na wo bonto ase Ghana fo beto obama no asem okan ne se wode asofo aduosia ene bebu wo man no sane ebe ye katwitwiridie a ebe sesa asofo bebre na ye tuomoka ne ye toka ma ne ye mo omufu ene nyina yo man ne ka enti no obehwe no twitwa ne maso aso ne bo no betimi akeka bia bom na beye baako ye titachichemu emenya asofo menya na bede ye kire medida total land cruiser metwi pake kura wonum ja na adinya ni sika no de tofu wo se wo ma oman no emo sa aka no na wode wo se yoyo a wo ba ye no asoafo aduosia eno bobo wo mudin na yera Fanyoma aka kire se eno de abrim Ghana fo ani so ne so kopie mu ewo abankase mampani atena ya enipa twetwiri dia wo mgo no mo ya dwuma ye tu omkabo so me no echa asoafo entene asoafo na wo ka se wo te so ba aduosia na ye sika no yetimi ato bi susu ni anya bi di ato no mo ede agya ntirima no enya se sika ya ene nipa twitwiri dia wo mgo no ansabi mpo bi kura anya hwe no ye ri tu omka na ene yewura Fanyoma Ken na eka waka asami ewo man Ghana mra se badwafie se aban no NDC aban bo Ghana fo ka yie pa ewo mampani atena ye wo bo ɔman ne kapa enti Ghana for yɛn sɔre na saa asɛm a wɔkan yɛn fia ni ni akyire ma yɛn twɛn mesika no ɛnsansa na yɛbɛte wɔn pentenkwa wɔn monyamfo afanyɔma kensɛm wɔkan yɛ no ebini.
The Minister for Public Sector Reform has been rendered redundant. Nothing was provided. She is just at Jubilee House doing nothing. The Minister in charge of Special Initiative has also been made redundant. He is just being paid salary for nothing. What we know is that so much has been loaded at Jubilee House for compensation. They say they are appointing only 60 ministers, but many government appointees. Director of Agric at the presidency, special advisor in charge of agriculture at the presidency, in addition to a minister of agriculture, Minister Mr. Speaker, I am concluding to say that Ameyakeyu Takamba Nichumo, Mr. Speaker, I've been Nichumo, Imbo Nichume, I'm a 24-hour economy, I'm a Malay, Mr. Speaker. In other words, they lie.
Onipa yate ne nkan aye Maso adwani a wojade hya wamo ewo afutu abaton beso aso edom kuma ewo my god maso adwafie so no a ene da no wonu onyamfo afanyama kan wono ena na wo chechensemu chechese bebre na ya adwuma ewo abankase mu a wonhu adwuma wamo ye tetete condition mu ene edom masika atu amka so yase asoafo nipa aduosia pe ena we de sekwasiko no gina kwanti ho nsem bi ena wonu onyamfo afanyama kan de tu dwai
na onyamfo Alexander afanyama kan no si ya pe ena asoafo no na hwe yesika samso ewo man Ghana mu Dr. Kasapa to forcing e no se atu apanyo na dia na wo keka no ngona basa se ya ntiase enhye na enimu yi sa wo ka se ye se sika na ye se sika na ye hu ne ye de sika eya na wo basa wo kire den e na wo kire mu se da bi wo pani eya atesam de wo ka manfa nyansam na wo no se wo kasa na wa kasa me se na mo yase ene na ya wakokofo we di ato asoye ho ene wakokofo we di ato asoye no wo chem se no kro biara animu na no Dr. Kasapa to forcing e chem se wo me no ka se djumedi ahodo mo di egu akwamu ene wo mo eye ntoto ya ahodo wo mo e hwe ma bi atumi akonkan no ne nyina ne se wo no ma hwe ma ntoto ye atumi akoye enti so mo di sika bro so se wo mo di sika akoye ne no ne nyina ya o mani mpuntu ne nkanko ne nchekere ene wo no mape Dr. Kasapa at forcing
Everyone in this chamber believes that President Mahama has made progress on the economy. Mr. Speaker, even our colleagues opposite us, deep in their heart, knows that Ghana is making progress. Right, Honorable Speaker, we have been prudent and will continue to be prudent. Mr. Speaker, I heard my colleague say that a prudent government is planning to buy a presidential jet. But Mr. Speaker, the fact remains that it is better to buy than to rent. And that the cost of buying is equivalent of 2 years of renting aircraft by the previous administration. Mr. Speaker, the fact is there for all of us to see. The amount of money they spent on renting aircraft for 2 years is equivalent to the price of a new aircraft. And so who is prudent?
Enti we ya no me ka say Dr. Kasapa to force wono a wo hwe sika samso man kanemu. Wode ma aye edonkuma no ane wo ba no dani osan ni Alexander Afanyoma Akin. Ena wode ema no na wentie ngwa ma no so e. Eza zo mo nyabo Alexander Afanyoma Akin kan sem ni nyina no. Na ni trimu poni ni nkase ni nyina wo aye mampani atena ye. Jubilee House. Eno makokova director of agriculture. Eno makokova director of agric. Ewieche wo musan wo so afo na ngasa. Wado na hwe akwa yon sam so man kanemu ene na wo so ba sika no wo mudi bom ewi ni say chow sa Dr. Sami aye wo pani a wono ena kasa edi fi man pani atena kase e wa homa no so akra na wie wotumi nka ma ha Kasapa ago FM so ne pato bia boko de
I think we're better.
Yo. Sir, I think come to you, dear. I on my name for Alexander Afanyoma Akin. Any of them want to say. What was the mobile, more Ghana cat? mo mpesa mo be di sika bebre enti mo ko fa so afọ kitwe bi inso koko wi e kire azani amo kan no enye no na mo di adwuma yi
me da se wa ma me akwanya se me ne otiefo enkasa de ete ne se ya ye papa penmu pa or ye minority leader the honorable Alexander Afonyo Makin or your opposition leader into the ete ne se abribia no niema mpo ekoye wa ban mu a omo ke kan semo a number 1 enye no kre number 2 en traso mu so ka ho se de be ya omo de be da Ghana for na Ghana for adwuma yo mutanta se NDC aban papa His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama no aban no emo ne homode mesre mi bisa o se yen asedana ye sa nenso ya appointing go for bebre e Ghana sika mesre wo ye ba ye afini bo wo se yakọ amanone adwama so akobobosia debi because we are living within our means sika kakra Ghana for ebeteti omumo we mu di amaye no eno na afini ye di abo Ghana ho bra yen kwa amanone nkobo obosia mesre wo in 2017 by this time na MPP for ako Eurobond market what a bond be near Senator Franklin template on $2.25 billion that time. That was almost first year. Bosi omukwa bonte ko boy no. NDC abai under President John Dramani Mahama. Onyesa. In fact, a car omo brugu wa enunti omo ye domestic debt exchange program omo jeje nkofo sika. Ese no de wasa obusire ma edu me eso butua no mutimi ntua no. Saka no NDC abai bai under President John Dramani Mahama. Ye tua saka na ene unti so obi akodina finance ministry. Ye demonstrations here for the sika mano on te se obi akọ pension na akọji ne sika osu o se for the sika mano ensida ensi NDC aban of President John Dramani Mahama. It is a prudent government aban a o ma ye bibi kakra bi a yetimi de ye niema ma ne so temamfu ani ye ba ye programs a ye tuatua ye adwumawura program national apprenticeship program what have you I can go on and on about 3 years just o mo kan wa se na yama na ye better. Now let me come to the substantive matter. Enye no kreda President Mahama I appoint more than Nipo Kaso by appoint. Mamemfa unko enomano makrum. MPP aban betina kunya so na asembe no muka shega na for mo say omo betina ye adwuma just ye mo kwan mo appoint Nipa 126 as ministers. Over 300 presidential staffers under MPP. Omo appointee minister in charge of agric. Omo appointee deputy minister in charge of horticulture. Deputy minister in charge of annual crops. Deputy minister in charge of perennial crops. Deputy minister in charge of fisheries. And omo appointee minister of state in charge of agric. It's agric ministry.
Eji samina sankrofo nya no wo ye adwuma ben because as the corona no ma se da dan di no e di kuntan bi atoto so
enti one say you say the devil lies in the details and before mo gene say Ghana for the ewuro mani kosoro and I can tell you on authority say intro bia o betwa bia ye ba be yom wano ati omoto put me appointed minister of agric deputy minister annual crops deputy minister perennial crops, deputy minister horticulture, deputy minister fishery, who we are also appointed minister of state in charge of agric at the presidency. And the agric ministry, Kwanipa ne wo AS7. Omu ya aseme no mekache, omo say omo one you can say planting for food and job, planting for export na de kosi ye ne say ope esigana drought esigana ma you food ye nyina say no msa be jiska de ko hunu mu. That is the legacy of the MPP. After appointing 7 people to manage agric, and now I can say we have only one minister in charge of agric and one deputy minister, 2. When it comes to the presidency, here or a presidential staffer in charge of agribusiness, businesses surrounding agric. That is all about it. And to train it from the awareness. What you say? Over presidencies, so even the number of presidential staffers that President Mahama appointed. Okay. In fact, ministers are appointed or promises or appointed 60. No, you see, I'm not going to say your ministers be 55 or say 56. If Ghana not doing, yes, if Ghana, is Ghana not doing better than what the MPP left us? And then the economy, where you fool, where you see share baby agent. And it's also more working na
no Caribbean.
And you would rather some and Twasumu, a try MPP for Suma, no minority leader. So, on my mechanic from Ghana for the massive. And now,
I mean, the will see now, what in Casa, dear.
Me talk, pa.
No, and Casa,
there be maintain Casa.
Auntie, say, or maybe as an England, need more, yo. I don't know, Ocean and Jazz.
There be HSA.
Yo, but I want in the Casa Berry, you know. What they say, maybe as I say, and this is a baby. What can so a Juma Busu, Ucha, near Juma, Usha Juma. Now, was I say, I'm not telling Mariano. Now, what will be saying is that England need more, yo, Evika, a dole, a Jumano, a Wahi, where are the jobs?
Oh, a Jumana, the air by and Ukrainian Yamini. Yayibi, ya creativity. Baby, I per se, you do know, you knew ya, Abana, 2 Abamaya for 4 years. Ya, ye first year every year. You can agree with me, said there are many sectors of the public sector. Ya for the pack. In fact, the why I employ about 22,000 people. The Jumara program. Next year, baby, and then funny power about 20,000 people. National apprenticeship. So we are doing a lot. The idea is that before. Almost can some at the say Ghana flagging. Next, a Ghana flag who say NDC near PPA, and Tessa. Almost 8 years. As a Ghana economy, every day, no mama Ghana for excuse. You buy a 1 year. Yama Ghana economy, you know what to be my excuse, Daddy. And see, I can promise the people of Ghana, Muti and say, Jumani Guswa, yeah. All our programs, you know, all of them have started kicking in kaka. We will not get the level of unemployment rate and people over 40.7% of the population. The NDC government will not get that. And see, Omonumu Socha Ope, the program will be welcome. In fact, what's your budget every year? The finance minister says over 250,000 people will benefit from government's $500 million investment in oil palm plantation. What you say? Next year, all of these programs will kick in. Now, Ghana be a country.
Doc, yada say, Yankubon Kayona or Jawama and Quatente after that says, Yabasa Shadi, come yada say, and over no adaje. You. I was saying, you need Dr. Sami Aye, one. Ekasa edifi eye aban kasemu ena na ewie yedim komando chansa nsema wodra edon kuma ne omba no dani ekani nyina no kamye se wonu asoma no se ekwe na akoko hwenyamu na ka bigumu nti ne oka nyina no nokra bia animu
yeda so kire mo man Ghana na asebadwafie na first deputy minority whip ayo no nyamfo Habib Idrisu wada to dwa kire se na asense ne AC yade no eje ne ho ewo man Ghana mo no eho behia pa fi se ebebrono mu a so onu ankasa dwade ahyatade se me kwaya resabia na doctor emfi me testing hwese yare wo emwawa no ebu o me nipadua mu lalai enyade Ghana fo yes ade no na no no se ene yemfa sa kwan we so na ka yenya no won hye ekwan so enti ye hye se adwuma wura wadwuma efo nyina no ewo se utimi test wo bia se woni kro owo HIV AIDS ade no ebia was say abaya nyuma efo ankra de nyina ko bia fa na semhia na ka yenya ne sa na asema wo kenya nwanwa efise Ghana AIDS Commission for no mo credit nkomo wo ye afidie so na nkonta wo mo bu kire se daku bia nipa be se duanan ne akire na wo mo enya HIV AIDS ade no ebia utimu se se de anu ayeden pa ya jinhini wo man mu enu nti na wo no nyamfo Habib Idrisu ade ahweso se ye ne sa ebeboa ama se ne yade no etre no ebetimi aba fom na wo kire se yade bi ti se ensamawa na fenso etridie eye malaria yade ibi no yade ye ni abere ye ko de etia enu no obi kwa ne omo test no yesi wanya bi no akopedro no anom na den na HIV AIDS de asa yade no ye bunanim tia bi ye kaso obi anya bi a enam predum be ye nti no obi esuro ahofama ne opani ni ho se wa sore se me ko ka ne se yi ayare sabia adan a me ko akọhwe se me wo esa ebe ye den e de ma Ghana fo na mom adwuma de ye de rurawura mu a eno babo yie pa wonu onyamfo Habib Idrisu ne nsem no ene ntirimu po a owo efa se wo kan ho no ochire mu sei.
Recently, when you listen to what the health service or health Ministry of Health say in regards to HIV, it is very rampant now. Many times when you go to many of the regions, you will see that people who are HIV is on an that many people are now being positive on HIV in Ghana than before. And I think that, Mr. Speaker, it should be part of the requirements in every organization in Ghana. If they want to either periodically or if you are to be given a job opportunity, you should be allowed to be tested HIV, should be part of the health screening so that we'll be able to know. Because, Mr. Speaker, when you are not tested and you know your status, you will not be able to handle or cure or look for solutions to it. So, Mr. Speaker, as much as I support this ratification, I want to just call on every organization, whether government or non-government organization, that it should be part, mandatory requirement that if you are going to be engaged, either employment or whatsoever, HIV is tested, be part of it. And medication in terms of when you are tested positive, it should be made, I think it's already free. If not, then it should be free everywhere so that members or people, patients with regards to this can have access to.
Only Payateni Kanye Eye Wonwanyamfo Habib Idrisu, your first deputy minority whip, oh my God, I'm massive of fear, no, and only to Janasa Miss Anissa Ekobasa, see a Tiania Becassa Raffle and Yabia, eh. Obakra the ordinance as some crown to me fans also and conquer you how na you share so dear.
Na Bokunto Koya na Minoa Casino, now Koya some sebe. Now go to tree a comma mampeni as opum so or 2 for 7 here. Now a jar a 7 woman permanent Puma Sebre. And yet now a rugu for and Abe a Boku for the United to Mishia, a Coco VH or no woodin come. Emma Nano Bunade Oba Aya Bankasimu, any Amania Bodina, Ever Bomb and Penny Cram or Cancer, one person or the crat, and I watch on the Brofocasimu. Apparently, furthermore, nevertheless, in addition conclusion, one person of the man Samanako, Ever go Vietnam, Gasso or the Biaka, a beefrim, and to annoy Chinan and Anso, I can say, yet. Oh, we are Channel Gobo, a year, Bokuna, Bedins or no, and Emra, any Amamra Council, were yet Wahine. Now the rule for Jaya, one more Tikokum, one was someone to say. And to me, I can say no. One much or crack about one so. And I was so I can say, no, no, and yes, you know, and never they are broken. I buy the curfew at Tomaso. Oh, we are not the about 4 as I got council among go here. Now, what am I buying? Now, Yamani Boni Kasim Idrisu, and the Jawa bomb and Pendia 7 years. Yes, I can now, Manoso, Yakonia goes as a curfew, nay. Breben, a don't bank of Breben, and at a benso, and I shall say, and you be a fee, and I shall say, Edma, Casim, my hand. Now, be able to dear.
You avoid another romantic income.
And then I go see, I'm in a say in Kaboku, Kusasi, Niman Prusin Sami, or 2 for the Nesimu. I'm a Kamibia Masunjaba. Na the rugu for ye, Womatico, Womaja, and nay, yes, here the curfew about. I shall say, a Breben, Ecopim Debe, Bamba won't so, send it here.
No, send your woody candy to a chief for an ash of Minnesota Pepenatina. The Aquarian and say, Ocean and Lady Go and let go near monthly for no, a horn a monthly for a war, a horn and a year a war. Eti omo boku ni na se basa boku 1 year dey na basa bi on no mo adwan akose hodum enti ona otu kokko dey na asembetu je na onyepo wo hodum aye na yiri so no nti afi na yes asema otu for the betu je na ono no en kitago bie tesa no ma chi no on se mo member of parliament or like Bohabet so ba bonte be kan se ono so F1 year na ledigo na ba ayefe no na yiri no e kan ofo aso se otumfo anu musema odi ba yi omunjintumu na omunjintumu otuna we ema ye betima ka se egina so mamrantie no sorry eya kokuduro ekohye omo chi amenye ni fie omo fi se omo gidi se wono na aja se na yiri wono ntima nko otukoko so fie hono se mitiam free nyina na yiri na nti ho dakrokra omo chese mpanimfo na omo kono omo na omo ankodi asem yie and also magic bribe be entina Obama two for Eddie Assemi Ban area Tesanti Omukoshi the fee. And our moons are we nipabiti area on us won't supporting your moya naja yashufina yetinum from Mamunise almost a bunkuru enemy. Also, by once a bunkuru and Tokano or da Omunso, as Omohen so Oma to the Cocoso mobile she or and paying for no more Manchia Palace to win a ma a my education Batona and run 5 o'clock on the day. A bit more ya should see a cool. I've been to the numbers of money identity a police for this as a form by way so a cow more mokama Mokosha them. Now I'm a person I say moto into Ewa everyone na lady go home. Ban say dia wo koto fu a wo ko ba bi na senka wo ka say na say fu a sananka wo de buta koto no ya si wo kwan say woni me kwan dia say wo timi kura fu of petrol any buta na say dia ba na moti base mu na enkomo a moti we mu di no o mo hye enyu mfaso a ye be epam afi on say ne be ya o metimi asisi na lady go te say okay meno ka say na lady go de say na accepting
Kasim, my minty asemi kamia zentokwa no wo se kusasi na afi mamprusi na lerugu fo no na ye mamprusi fo ana boku fo no jeremi mu hifo na kusasi fo na hifo na mamprusi fo
yo osha oka the mampuru kingdom na ledigo wale gambaga ha na ye mamprusi fo ha na omochi akwesa santemai ura na area ono ntimo mpulubu for no mo na ledigu na gambaga wale na omo na omo a mo betena bokoro na nka mo pese omo je bokoro eka na ledigu wale no ho nti wutie otikoko so a o kana asem no o maye de abakosem bi ba etcheche mu kwanya efa so a man principal bi betena bokko na kwanya omo fa so later omo hu se ya kwantu no mobile na nye ho no mufi ento ba kwantu dia untim be dia de se wo dia yinti ko ofie na ko dia de on enti right back if na de si yo no oza na me so yeah oza na so na otuko ko ka se ende se opeso di on dia no on san ko ni fie that's na lady go no na won ko dia de on na ba bi super de se ko dia de o de enti mi yinti ho eye man pusifo en ho no muso mo kingdom no na lady go.
All right. Yo, Kasim even see na aja bambofo ho a wono mo bo ba ye hwese bibia betumi akwa asomdwe mu. Won so won no de no se bibia ba on fan ka me etiefo ahwefo ni Ghana de nyina da se na wie.
Enas.
Ebusanti we ye nua ba ma Kasim Idrisu. Na wode amane boy edifi TV do man temade brand to chem se de na rugu curfew na aba ho. Enyume no num na wada anopa no nsia na wasori abambo wunsem ayire pampen.
Now, President Emma National House of Chiefs, Ojia Woho Yaw JB, our Tosumienu. Nanadia to draw say, Galam sent to Quay by ye, and your social media and Quadai, and I'm so credited Nanama for being my tamaki coma drink one more, as a Sabia song, Nanano Yatrono Amasi Wafo. And say Galam say Koswo, na yes, you, now to Mamufo, and Yansionom, Nana Maya Shahai, Domo Sagomachi, Amagalam say Koswono, Yana Yahometisam. Na sansemi ena ojia hoho ya ujebi watosum no wakasa to dwachire se ene wasra Ghana aban emponi tumi kakra na se galamse ntokwa no aban emfa nanom enhyemu bi nanom ho amugina bia ewo galamse ntokwa no emu ekobasa wom so bedo na besi fom no matimi akokoden ama galamse ne atimi etoase empenisi ewom sabodwese wo oba ye no na anintonwi wo ho nanom wo no mansa na amanyosam eba nanso enam se wo mo echese ne de tumi ahya ne nsa no wona eso mo nyina tai na tie eti ekobasa na nanom ekwati eye Ghana ban ene enhyehye a oman Ghana mambra akyere no a ne yakwati a na wanhwa na yeyama ne nkwanta ne sa ti wo ya ujebi a otosumenu ese Ghana ban say aban pe kwan bi no won form nka ho bi na galamsey ntokwa no nananom ka ho na ye ko ntokwa no a ebabua yie pa ene ohene bi ka se wo ma kwan ma wo bi mfa excavator mesini nsuo mu metu ensai ni nsuo a amanyoni bi enkobo no sobo amanyoni bi mepacho amanyoni bi mfa ne ho machim anasa maburu mfa ne magina social media metu na dapa ekobasa ebabua yie pa oje ahoho ya ujebi a wotosumienu odafo nsamo a okan ye no ebini.
We are calling on government to actively involve Nananum in the fight against galamsey. In fact, galamsey is now all over the place, all over the country. And if we don't take the necessary steps, we are going to lose out to them. In fact, my fear is even that they are ganging up into armed groups. And if care is not taken, the security forces are going to find it very difficult to flush them out from the forest and from the areas. And if this happens, then just like what is happening by the drug barons in South America, we may have them also challenging security in this country. So we call on government to actively involve the landowners in the fight against galamsey. Every village, every town, there's a chief. So if we are well resourced, if the regulatory regime is changed and none are involved, I believe that we will also help in the fight against the galamsey and make sure that our river bodies are clean, we get good drinking water, and our soils are also not impoverished, because medical doctors are warning us that indeed the cassava that we like so much, the yam, the cocoyam, vegetables, including of course contomere, these are all affected. And so I call on government to actively involve Nananum in this fight.
Onipa yatini nkan President National House of Chiefs oje awoho yawjebi a wotosumie no odefo ne ene ete ye no
na district district road improvement program ye chance against drip national coordinator nkane odododio abato embassy so me asebedwani onwanyam for Edwin ni Lante Vanderpoy wona wo ka sei ene wo chance me wi se mensina hodro empate ma hodro ani mensika chimpeni for ni chance against Metropolitan Municipal and District Chief Executives no Wambema sa drips machine no eso abanfa so wacho so ko mensiri bi mu mantemu bi mu no woma kwan nya na wo so mekọ ma wo makọhwe wo de fidie na de aya adwuma no enya de a wo mu na wo hwe mu so a MMDs ba ma kwa wo mai mu no he no adi osia ba ko 261 na wo mo hwe so betumi de adwuma na wo de nsem nya ni tudwa ebra na eja wọ́n máa bọ̀ jàdá tá ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀pìẹ́mà ntẹ̀mú mu ẹ̀nà wọ́n de sànsẹ̀mí ẹ̀dí tó dwa na ẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ yẹn nua bẹ́ẹ̀ máa kọjọ́ ansa ẹni olùmọ̀nyánfọ́ Edwin ní Lante Vanderpoy ẹ̀dí nkọ̀mọ́ no ẹ̀nà ọ̀kyẹ́m sẹ̀ ẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ wíyẹn nùsẹ̀ nneɛma ahodoɔ náà ọmọ atutɔ gu hɔ na wɔn mo de yɛ adwuma no ɛsɛ wɔn tumi di ba na aban no fa so deɛ ɛne sika bi a ɔde egu mu nso no ɛnfa so etumi aba mu ne nkyɛn mu a ɔde ma yɛn nua bɛɛ ma kọjọ́ ansa ɛni.
Make sure that our NMDCs become more proactive in responding to the concerns of the people who voted for us. My concern is that sometimes the NMDCs run passive to them, as I'm doing now. All that we talk about is that this road is urban road, this one is highway, so we cannot touch it. And the to touch it. But it's not a complaint. And as a direct representative of excellence in the president in the district, so how long will you sit down and you can ask concern when people complain? So just encouraging them to understand. And sometimes you can take
Movanche say Orwonyafo ni Lante Vanderpoy ne no go no sa na eno che na biema ntemu mu aya Orwonyafo ma me akosua agye awate waro na biema ntemu so afo eno che se he eno be biema ntemu titi ni kofodua akwa bebre nya obefa monchi monka nko a gunguruga nko na wode nam enti wosre se wo nyina wo nko mutimum assembly members wo no no na wo muntumi hwe ma drip machine aba no wo mu fanya adwuma na akwa ye wa apiama ntemu ne tetuani kofodua nso no wo muntumi wie ni nyina
continue to hinder economic growth and access to essential services. I have engaged the Ministry of Roads and Highways and the Ghana Highways Authority to prioritize critical feeder roads in the 2026 infrastructure plan, and their response has been so positive. Routine maintenance contracts have been awarded. Priority will be given to roads connecting markets and agricultural areas like Kasapa. Environment and sanitation. During the period under review, the environmental health unit undertook a monitoring exercise in all the assemblies to assess environmental health and sanitation related activities with specific reference to the implementation of the following sanitation programs: evacuation of refuse dump and maintenance of final dumping sites, organizing of national sanitation days, district-wide fumigation exercise, procurement of refuse containers, regular dislodging of all institutional and public toilets, implementation of sanitation improvement packages. C. Monitoring and supervision of environmental service providers, sensitization on water, sanitation and hygiene, known as WASH activities. Availability of sanitary tools and equipment, including Veronica buckets for public schools and health centers, and support for the implementation of community-led total sanitation.
And here you Piaman Temosa for Nyam Rita Akosua Eche Awate. Now, I'm not saying our mind in anybody shall one more watch him Kotoku or see a dear your doctor. From Paul Manso out of 1 night. I don't know the was our best drip coordinator. Everyone young for Edwin Hill and Teva Napo said, one shot. Now one for him for no and Vanky Kaka or Mujuba or Moody in now. Say to me, Abuama at 12 would be more Moji. Any Adrian Chebia would run. Once over to me, the Moody Abua, celebrate me about my Juliano, Avan and Swapa at different.
More of you. Because I've always said that, you see, to remain in government or to be the ruling government, you only have to do one thing. You have to bring government, connect government to the people. If we cannot do that, then we'll always go around campaigning. And when you campaign, people will say that you are there to tell them lies again. But this is the time where you bring, even with this thing that you are talking about, bring the communities in. Let us own your projects with the people. Because at that time, we can add, when the road is going to be patched by a drip, and you think you bring us in as paramount chiefs, and we bring our people to back you, and because we know that they raise a little bit more money to support you, where do you think we will go? Do you think if we do this across the country, will NDC have any problems within the election? I like what you are doing, and please let us find a way to bring the people behind, because all these projects are good, but we the people have no connection to what you do. We don't understand what needs to be done. We don't even know that 20% of any money is supposed. We want to help our DCs, but how can we do it? We are not part of anything. We have to bridge the gap because we want to help your government to succeed. Thank you.
Enti we your man in the man is one more watch him Kotoku. Was said there, Doctor from Paul Manson or Tosso 9, and others are memory there, Sebeko year. So they are handful. Anything fooling in a bar, a year a pumba. Now I want to drink a fan into my pa, Eddie Fra.
Oman Ghana so for be de kire a wo hwe enkrokuma mamu puntu wo nsam so ahensam na afen so eyegide som ho nsam so eye wonu onyamfo reta na odole so wa wada to dwane sam trofo aba pro e wo nkran mu se nya sam keto akora na problem no kire se ene billboard wa manfo binom companies ni nwumako bi amountment wo kromu ayese basa amahunidie ho nsam enhyedan koyie emayen e wo nkran ha no wo se hadwen ye papa na wo man yamra wom wo bintimi mfiti prakope na wa mount billboard kakra na no wo se bi kuresi ye mframa boy na se humutu ye na atimia tutu abehwe kwabrane so a enwa asamokura ye nkan wie ye wo se eyade a hadwen ye pa enti we die wodna no no aka so nani de akire ene sam trofo adinachi abo aporo e won kra ha na ordinary ehun sene amanfo no bi SCC eye signpost anasa billboard bebre e wo man mu ebi kura nhye da ni tumi bi e wo so mo ye no mo de si wo obi anka hwe nkyira wo mo na wo maye na mo dwo mo sika keke ose Oman Ghana emra wom enti anai se wo mount eye billboard bi na wo mountain ye no wo hyehyɛ wo sa wo ye no assembly ni nim ho hwe obi anim ho hwe na wo ye de a ene hwe yie pa na eyade a wom do mo na si ko ma sa de no mo hwe ama eto atwa wonu se wanyina to dwabra hyehyɛ ye egu akwan mu na ye adwuma ma enkran atimi atenwan eye National Sanitation Week activities a wom de ye egu akwan mu no efri eye December bosumi de toso edu miensa ekosi wotememene December bosumi de toso aduonu ena wode dwumade eba wiye ne no eno aprobo ne mu wo hu se amanfo billboards ahodo mount ne ye yie 31st night empire board de chese bebre na ena wo kromu a wo chese entwa ye kura na abra wo mo bo aprobo ne nyina awie ye no wone santrofo di commodity way eto manim anamo a omba betu
continue to either economic growth and access to essential services. I have engaged the Ministry of Roads and Highways and the Ghana Highways Authority to prioritize critical feeder roads in the 2026 infrastructure plan, and their response has been so positive. Routine maintenance contracts have been awarded. Priority will be given to roads connecting markets and agricultural areas, like I said. Environment and sanitation. During the period under review, the environmental health unit undertook a monitoring exercise in all the assemblies to assess environmental health and sanitation related activities with specific reference to the implementation of the following sanitation programs: evacuation of refuse dump and maintenance of final dumping sites, organizing of national sanitation days, district-wide fumigation exercise, procurement of refuse containers, regular dislodging of all institutional and public toilets, implementation of sanitation improvement packages. C. Monitoring and supervision of environmental service providers, sensitization on water, sanitation and hygiene, known as WASH activities. Availability of sanitary tools and equipment, including Veronica buckets for public schools.
Onipa yatene kan wono aye sofa be de akira wono ena hwe nkronkuma mamu ompuntuo ehon nsam so ahensam na afenso eye wosom ehon nsam wono onyamfo eye reta na odole so wanene ena yate ye no
na won fipe no ena di onu na aba yeto ye Oman Ghana mu ena enkane mampani abede chedi man bibi amanyo koni na mamu mu Mr. Digital Economic Messiah Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia wono na gine mu etu frank adima amanyo konu na won konya 38.2 na no mu na bre ka say wo ma hyase na wo mo yi omuti se wono mo pre frank atuni di bre ede ama bibi amanyo konu na manfo dodo na eka na Bawumia no wona ma yelusu ye na Bawumia no wona ma bibi ankonkan kura ma bre ka say no ade Dr. Brian Champo abetivi mra hye bedwedi abetivi Elon Musk no wono so ojina kanse no wi pa ena wo kan se he ade ya twe na basade nyina no yamfa obi a wo betu franka na MVP na dio no wotwe MPP etumi ava banwa no edi na mampeni di bra no aba bedi omo nchen na Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia de there be la as nkugwa abanyo koni de no eye ono e na ekofa bai na no na aye chairman Animal Communication Directorate Animal Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia ni campaign team Animal Frankatuni Libre eye na akomia e no say hey Brian gina hwe na ne ebe eye wo dia wan na ka kire wo enhwehwemu bansu na wo enyina so bai e na wo gina so a wo ka say Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia enam ne so e ma fimpenu e na di onu na ya ba ye koye no wodi nkuwo wo janse no kwa bie ni ho enti delegate am MPP eni Ghana fo ne aspirant awodo akani nyina ye kan nyina no mumbrosko tu bebe ye agudie bi e na wonu mu adi na mo no Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia won ka ho enyo no na efa pem eni ma nkugu a wo mu di ye won fimpenu e na di onu enum
34 constituencies NPP presidential yenyamienu entino only party for no kasa uko ano ka say na results here audition di baye zongos e wo Ghana zongos Alhaji Mega Mreso penibia no we manyoku mu ochingana hani na zongos boa urakufu ma ye vote koso zongos Akufuado yete Nasara ema ye campaign wo zongo se wo Ghana hani na Akufuado votes ekoso 2024 zongo se wo Ghana ye lusu ni nara other factors maybe so
was it 2028
ye ko election me ye ka say ye kwa akoka economy asemwa audition bit makabi. Economy is all central to every election. 2000. Yes, if you are sitting in Natwaba, and we micro economy.
Okay.
And people must believe in you. Ekufuado manchagboena. Yede wo bane ye say sidi ni mo ye hata.
Okay.
Enti akofa branti bia ba oba be boame na mama sidi ni mo ye dene. What Akufuado meant was that media governance no the strength no economy the strength in ho enti me kwa kofo bi a ordinary strength in economy no e ba be boa
enti we ene enkomo twetwe e koso a yetumi abobi e de amamu
na Dr. Stephen Amua wa ma so dwani ma de hya wo mo nhia so na mom na wotani a ya de frɛ no ayestika wade atodwa kire se se beka se akonwa to entiade hye obi a prebi MPP amonyokori di momom kopre eye mampani akonwa ama party no mfiampienu ene na duonu enwotwe so na wakasa wade atodwa kire se ebi mo de sobo bo eye mampani be de kire Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia se nkuku eba ye mfiampienu ene aduonu nan no eye ono a ene o se we de da bi Ghana ha no abatoɔ na nkasa no enyina unyuma a wo ye nko aso da bi yone mebo ma so otimi di gu akwan mu ebi ye de en wasam a wo kan ne oba a wo bɛyɛ ɛna afen so vote no obu ono mo so a se wan hye na frumu mapa na se ene mebo ono mu a se ye to abawie yeyi afenie na ne ma wo kan ye no o ma ho hwe no ayi wo musulia na watena ho a ebrebe so no asan aba omo de ombeje ofeso no ma mo akwa aba na mo sabato da ne duru wa ye beto abetiaw etini nyina ka ho bi na ne ka sem na wo kire se ye wura kan de Japan wo hwe ne hyehye o de gu akwa mu na nyame amfafia na asase bibi ansi a wanhwa obedi nkunim akwa akɔgye eye akonwa na friendisifo ensem de aba party no se wanhwa ono ebenya amba no kese de achen ye wura Bawumia na ne enti o kan sa no enti bi
politics and dynamics in here. NDC NDC was born out of an autocratic coup d'etat at the Menkase Ebony, Ubiane and Ashesia. At the NDC about communist inferior tactics, propaganda, the use of violence, Omoyadiepa, and then no more. Pedomia or Ben Bunyam for her commission. So we nearly they be also yet strong, tough to face them. And your friend of pragmatism. Do
you think so no book in Japan will be a obetimi a shaky system?
Na so it's a baby
Udinachi and say believe when you
look when you man, I'm the chief financial officer. Maminka Debian way. I thought that I won't expect you know. no about office wo e be at 10 to 8 as yes start adwuma 8 wo abeba after 10 to 8 bi obi wedi na oya say you are sacked me so ono aneba ye che no ne bafre no oti o se ne bandi for police nche no you see onye perfect. But even with our mindset revolution search, the way our mindset, the behavior of the police, the behavior of some chiefs, the behavior of media, we politicians will be any judiciary, your mindset revolution. Sometimes we need somebody that will properly place erratic decisions. And when you say a lot of the finance and economics gurus are people, about 80% women are Canadian doctors.
Onipa yatini nkan Dr. Stephen Namu amrase bedwani ma de somo hia so do Donald friend stika nene ene ete ye no
na wo fo gudi ayetu no man ka ne mu na do Donald sense ye nsuo ni ensase ene ye kwabrentu ahodo wo man ka ne mu no ene ja wo de mra akoko pe wo mra se bedwani se wo no mo behwe ma emra no betumi aba me ye adwuma pa aye fa no airline 2462 no ene ja wo mra akoko pie mu e wo mra se bedwani na wo sa aye mra na baba pie mu no ena manfo do na ka so emra we de airline eye pa ebeboa eje kwekwa wo do do no anom jo so saban no bo no wo den na wo hwema airline 2462 ni ye adwuma de a ebetumi aboa na yakobo no say ni owura George Dazi Junior wori a deputy national coordinator animal responsive cooperative mining and have skills development Accra George ma he
ejo so mi na bera
ya da se enewie e wo bre no adaje yesamo official panso
afen komati afenso yense da ma se moto kanya to adwuma pa ma penjo ma ma shima isi den
sa mokasa emrei a ne de yakoko piem na sebedwemu a wo ma agya to mo se ba hwe ma na ya adwuma na le mfoso de ene boa ba boa mo adwuma mo ye no ene de wan
mi na medasi na medin cha kese fi o man pen jo dramani mama John oya di ene ne doba honorable Amakufibua the land minister office ama wa chief nya ebeka ise o man pen ebo entowan o man Ghana etiase se ono ye o man pen na de Ghana for eka eye papa enim se ne beboa ye nyina no obechi atum na hwe ne de adwuma ba ko kesi a na ewum eye se ye kwaye betua ye nyina nim se ensuo awodo nyina efaniti efi oba eno nso enam se the environmental ye fani say environment na ye wum na eye yenu ahun se nipa ba ko beka wiase eni se etua ba ko wu nipa nyina nso ayede ewu no etua ebo ye ho eban pa no omma kwan se mra bi wo mu a ewe ye minerals law ni mu se utumi ema large scale and small scale miners kwan no mu ra kwa betumu no kutu gold mo e betre so ama abamu bi enti de asi enne na kana fo nyina ehu no ene se omampanyi edi ne boshe so efa ne doba onobo Amakufibua so ediko parliament ayenye nim se na shebedwamfo ene hyemra omo na ese yi sa amra na efi wo omampanyi ene na shebedwamfo ekasaye echichi mu chi omo kwan papa ebeboa yi nyina se yi chi wo no ma ma omaye wo atoye na yensuo kese a etiefi kwaye mu moba kese nyina wo kwaye mu edi nsuo bre na nua nso ema ye nkwa no ekise carbon dioxide aye ni nipa ye ho me ekwa bonte no yenua na egie na mo nso release oxygen na yenhwe ya so mu no obehwe se ye nkwaye mining ewo mu kwan boni dim anase kwa papa nso kwa na kwa no no nimre so de on sign to be efuo because Ghana for you na say mo ano di osie ayeyo na ka se aban papa abano afu nsusaso ana abano enu ntino eboa ebeboa yesu ni se ma kwanyama omo hyemu a omo ye illegal na yesi omo mpie omo mra ne mpa kwa papa so na omo nye mine omo betie no ma ba se bibia akwahye na wo ye de ensem pata no eyi we film ndi yeso o hwe be no na ye koye ho adwuma nti o ma pa ni bo to
George ma mimi sawo we no mwaka ene beboa na no ne boa no poti ne ebese ye hu asotwe bɛ na ɛwɔ mu sɛ ɛba ne nsɛm mokɔ wɔkye obi a wɔhyɛ yɛ kora aberantuo no mu na wɔtu fom agudie no bi anaasɛ mokɔ kɔkye obi a wɔno te baabi a yɛnsuo wɔ ɛyɛ anam taa ka so obi pɛ sɛ otu a wɔnkɔ 100 meters far away from nsuo no mmerɛ no mu no asotwe bɛn ɛna ɛwɔ mu
asotwe no sɛ wobɛtumi akɔda prison from 10 years ɛkɔ nti no sɛ yɛtuufo na wante a nti na mmara wɔ Ghana no sɛ mpatwɔ amrɔba nso yɛ obi adwuma a wasua paa anamboa
yɛsua
obi adwuma a wasua paa no nanso mmara fan sɛ ɔyɛ amrɔba wɔ kurom ya nti sɛ ɔkɔbɔ korɔ no a yɛkyew a yɛde kɔ court ama court atwa mmerɛ a ɛsɛ kɔdi ne yɛtwe wa so na wosesa saa nso na obi a wɔtie yɛ biara no yɛsɛ tiaseɛ sɛ ɔmampanyin John Mahama John ɔyɛ adeɛ yɛ agye atom sɛ Ghanafoɔ sɛ yɛkɔyɛ bɛtuo no yɛmpene ama obiara nkɔyɛ mine wɔ mu biem saa nka na dɛ mama mpanyin nko atumi no watwam nti sɛ wokɔ hɔ no ma abra bɛkyew ɛtew nso a prison na wobɛkɔ
akora George wonim yɛse ɛyɛ nipa ɛne ɛyɛ mmara ma no ɛnyɛ mmara no yɛyɛ mmara no ma nipa na ɛmɔ ɛnyɛ nipa ɛne ɛyɛ mmara no ba no mmara no deɛ yɛbɛtumi aba mmara hyɛwudiafoɔ no bɛhyehyɛ na mmom no sɛ yɛbɛhwɛ sɛ ɛbɛyɛ adwuma no nipa na ɛkɔdi anim o wɔn mu kɔdi mmara no anim ahwɛ ma mmara no atumi ayɛ adwuma no mo yɛ sure sɛ mo ayɛ krado sɛ mo bɛma mmara no agyina baabi a agyina
ɔpanyin meyɛ babunu ana sɛbe aburu sɛbe mpɛdiasa afi baako etwa mu na menyɛ national deputy coordinator for responsible cooperative mining ama me na ma kimi bɔ me ho ban ma srafo ne bambo ɛwɔ hɔ na me nso manya kwanya sɛ me so mine na mani ma banyam ne yɛ ne ya ano kyena bi yɛde papa foforɔ nso ɛyɛ de ɛka me ho ɛno nso nti yɛntumi ntrɛ mu yɛbusua anim ase na yɛgu yɛn ho anim ase ɛfiri sɛ sika deɛ ɛyɛ na sika papa ana boa adwuma nso woyɛ na woyɛ kyɛ nso a ana wonya so fa soro na ɔnɔbo ama kofi bu a ɔwɔ appointe yɛn a ɔmampanyin agye tum no ɔpanyin ɔbɛyɛ deputy minister of energy yɛnkɔhwɛ sɛ papa na ne ho sa ho te sɛn wabɛyɛ minister of energy yɛhwɛ sɛ na ɛte sɛn ne petroleum papa no wadi MP for good 4 terms a ɔkɔ yɛn nyinaa wɔ kurom yanom yɛnkyɛn ne ho asɛm bɔ ne biara anka obi a wakɔfa wei mu nyinaa no nka anso a wɔne bi wɔ no anka yɛde ɛbɛpie ɔmampanyin nso a appointe yɛ no yɛn nyinaa bɛhwɛ amamu ɛkɔ so a
George bi de wusi nea waka ne nyinaa atɔ aso mu oni na ɔda mo anim ɔdi mu ano anaasɛ kandifoɔ no wɔyɛ na mo a mo ka ne ho so mo nso mo yɛ
ɛna meka kyerɛ wo sɛ yɛntumi mmu yɛabusua anim ase na mposi akogu mampanyin anim ase fi sɛ me a me ne wo ka sɛ meyɛ ne ma anyɛ ne yɛ a yɛtumi kye ne tumi ɛnyɛ ma agye sɛ mpɛ prison akɔ ana mampanyin nso ne yɛ adi nkɔmmɔ no baa sɛ wogyina hɔ bi na wohwɛ ɔmampanyin gyama ama obiara ne ɔne ama kofi bu a mo bibia yɛ bɔkɔɔ no a wohwɛ deɛ ɔno ma haha ɔma ani no a masa ɛnya deɛ a woyɛ mistake a yɛde bɛkyɛ wɔ yɛnso yɛnyɛ yɛ adwene sɛ yɛpɛ 1 day no adi yɛpɛ didi daadaa nyɛ didi prɛko
akora ma yɛn na asɛ na wie enti wakan agya yɛn nyinaa anoa bi ne so ɔse sɛ yɛ wɔ ha enti yɛn nyinaa so hwɛ sampa
enti me gyina kwanya hwɛ bɔ yɛn nuanom kɔkɔ sɛ anyɛ sɛ wo nua ne me wo papa ba ne obi ane mmara ho asɛm deɛ ɛka enti gyae na sɛ woanyaeɛ a na sɛ wode ɔne kela ntua nanam a asoe de bɛhyia wo abɛwu sɛ baabi wɔ baabi
akora de ɔgyɛ da sɛ ne wie wɔ brɛ no adagye afehyɛ pa nso
afɛnkɔmɛto afɛ so nyame hyɛ nyinaa
try pa amen ɛwusanti yɛne owura George Dancy Junior wɔne yɛ deputy national coordinator edema operation for responsible cooperative mining and development skills ɛna yɛdi nkɔmmɔ yi
ɛwi abusuafoɔ Ghana Water Company Limited for ɛsesɛ wɔ manfo a wɔn ɛwɔ atenaya tramba bɛba bɛbɔden no nsuo bɛkɔ atwe deɛ ama wɔn ɛnɛ da yi fi sɛ wɔn droben baako ɛyade a wɔn ɛtu mu ɛnɛ eti ɛkɔba saa nsuo bɛyɛ den na tenatena sɛ mmeammea yi ɛne Accra Central Dansoman Malam Wagya Gbawe Makati Hills Kaneshi Odoko Kolebu Mamprobi Choko Abekala Pass Tesano Kokomlemle Alajo Nima Mamobi Jowulu Abelempe ɛne nkuro aka ɔmanfa nka ho na ɔmabɔ na mabobɔ yi ɛyade a ensuo ɛho bɛkɔ atwe ama monti sɛ Ubebu nsuo asi hɔ no mu a ɛne no ayɛ ne ntɛm. Accra Central, Dansoman, Malam, Weja, Bawi, Makati Hill, Kaneshi, Odoko, Kolebu, Mamprobi, Choko, Abekan La Paz, Tesano, Kokomlemile, Alajo, Nima, Mamobi, Jawulu, Enafe, Abelenkwe, enti abusanfo yɛnhyɛ ne so na yɛmpe nsuo kyerɛ kwan na kwan ye boss ye bomode sen sabeka wo na kenu o madi nkomo nso ye bo anasi ni trase de besi ya bre pam no ye no mu ebedi enkomo awie yi asomfo ye me osuani katachi afrifa mene
odifu ya chas
newsroom yuchi kwaku ba na afenso eye wisdom na prince ombo abwansem nyina no de ema ye sori su de ya panma sofo de anim na ya sori ewrate sa breyimo ya na masamo nyina mo enitia adehye